right, 6 o'clock, with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll start with our activity reports. Rather quiet for the last couple of weeks. Sorry I wasn't able to be here at our last meeting at a training that I had to go to. Neil told me that all the power did go to his head, so I'm back.
There's still room up
Well,
there?
I just like the paycheck. That was good.
No, so otherwise, in terms of activities, we had a policies procedures meeting, bringing the nuisance ordinance forward here. So you'll see that in the coming weeks. We've also got, Tarek and I went down to the Capitol to talk about the AMPI bonding request. Met with those folks. Tarek testified, and I thought he did a great job. Otherwise, that's, we had a park and tree board meeting last week. Talk about getting some new playground equipment. Generous donation for that. And then, I think that's all I have there. I'm looking at Tarek's list, but that's all I've got on my mind. Yep. So I'll turn it over down to Paul.
At a budget and finance meeting. That's all I got to report.
All right. Megan.
I was also at the policies and procedures meeting where we discussed the nuisance ordinance, so hopefully we'll get some of those things ironed out. Then I was part of the library and downtown meeting with a developer, so, you know, if Tarek can maybe expand on that a little bit. I think, you know, it's really early days yet, just kind of looking at some possible redevelopment and where that might fit in with the plans for our library project. And that's what I had.
Okay. Neil.
I didn't have a lot. Friday night I went to the Let's Go Fishing fundraiser at Queen Bee's. The fish were really, really good and pretty well attended. And then I watched the video of Explore Painesville, and I was pretty impressed. So that is brand new, so if you want to watch that, it's kind of interesting. And then we just had Public Works before this meeting, and Dan can expand on that. We got a item on here for a new a different tractor. That's about it.
Donna.
I attended the Budget and Finance meeting and the Chamber of Commerce meeting that was hosted by Centricare.
All right. Okay, department heads. Dan, what's new in Public Works?
We had a couple of sewer issues today that we dealt with. Gave us a little excitement. We're getting everything prepped for spring, getting equipment moved around and ready for the spring stuff and taking off the winter stuff. Citywide cleanup is coming on April 25th, so anybody that wants to volunteer to help out there. And the big news, the compost site will be open on the 15th at sunrise. And if we don't get the storms that were predicted, is why we haven't opened yet, because we had potential thunderstorms coming today. If they do not occur and tomorrow looks clear, we may open them tomorrow. We'll open up tomorrow. But no promises. The 15th, that's a promise.
Okay. All right. Loosen the purse strings and pay the people to go do it. Heavy dose of sarcasm there, Dan. You talked about sewers. Somebody reached out to me yesterday. Their kid had a house on Maple. Did they reach out to you at all? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the
Good. Then
parties all informed also.
All right. Any questions for Dan? Okay, Tarek.
All right, you already mentioned that we went to the state capitol to testify and speak on a bonding bill. Attended the park and tree, and yeah, it looks like we're trying to put some playground equipment there before the summer gets going, and we think we have some donations coming in that should help cover that, so that's very good. I'll keep you posted once we do receive the donation. And then we did public works interviews for summer help, seasonal worker. That's on the agenda tonight. And then Megan already mentioned that we had a joint members from the library, Ad hoc Library and Ad hoc Downtown, just to get them together and listen to a developer to kind of have ideas on how to bring the whole downtown redevelopment together. Nothing was decided, but we just, I think we are going to meet again and kind of try to refine some of the points that were made there before we kind of see what the direction is heading in that one. Budget and finance, Paul mentioned that one already. We didn't discuss anything specific, just a few items that have come our way that we'd like to explore further and maybe get some proposals before we make a decision on them. Policies and procedures, as you mentioned, nuisance ordinance, and then Neil, you mentioned something. It was just launched, the Explore Painesville website, so I hope everybody has a chance to check that out. Explore Painesville is a new site that would promote Painesville. This is part of the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. It was launched. There's also social media behind it. There's Instagram and Facebook.
Well, you look for that. I'm going to move ahead and come back. Is there anybody here for the open forum? And Gerald, that's you. I'll give you the same spiel I give to everyone while you go up there. So we'll now open the open forum period. Anyone who wants to talk to the council on an issue before us or something else, you can do so now. We have up to 10 minutes for this, and we'll divide it evenly between all of you who want to speak. No action will be taken on any matters raised. We may have questions or may otherwise respond, but no vote or decision will be made, and we can send stuff to staff as appropriate.
Thank you. And this really isn't towards the council. It's probably more for the city. So I'm Gerald Porfit. I'm the chair for the Painesville Community Service Center, and here to I guess inform people, try to help people understand what's going on with the summer food program and what the service center is looking at. So. But a couple of things first on that. I want people to have an understanding that they have the children in school. The food program during the school year, that is not affected by this. Different money that comes through MDE. This program that we've had for the last 5 years for the summer program comes from a different source, a different federal funding source. If for those that did read, or had a chance to read what Superintendent Janelle Bullard had put out when this kind of hit us as far as our community, the understanding that this isn't a school issue, this is a community issue. The money that did come in 5 years ago, the school were the folks that had taken on to kind of run the program, but the money was not coming through MDE. But as she had stated in the address that she made, the letters that had gone out in the Painesville Press, it is, I strongly recommend folks, whether or not you think that you're going to qualify, fill out those educational benefit forms. So the federal agency that did approve this 5 years ago as far as having a summer food program here, they use data from various sources in order to determine whether or not areas will be affected. And I'm sure most of you, especially the ones on the city council here, understand that data is pulled from, like I said, various sources. And if there is a lack of data or not enough data, insufficient data, they still have to make a decision. So there's a lot of assumptions that are made. So if we don't have the educational benefit forms filled out, agencies will go out and make assumptions based off of that. So that's some things that I just wanted to put out to ensure that people understand that during the school year, their children will be fed, to really push what Superintendent Bullard had said as far as filling out the forms. That will definitely help this area, at least give agencies a better idea of the needs of our community. But now for the Painesville Community Service Center. Just real quick, so in our bylaws, it states that the primary purpose is the mission to supply emergency food and sustaining food. So when I did hear about this, I called an emergency meeting together, and a number of the board members were able to attend. We started talking about having an understanding of what needs we have in the community during the summer, what will be affected, and how our community is affected by this, and started putting together some ideas. Nothing is written in stone yet. We do have another meeting coming up this Wednesday to further discuss it. But I have been in contact with Superintendent Bullard, along with the Director of Community Education, Chris O'Brien, gathering information from both of them, trying to put together some type of comprehensive understanding that can be passed on as the Community Service Center looks at stuff and see exactly what it is that we can do to help. But I just want to ensure the community and in the communities that lie within our community that do send their children to school here, I mean, as far as in the summer programs and stuff, that there is an organization, the Painesville Community Service Center, that is looking at what we can do to help. But also to just ask the other nonprofit organizations in the area, organizations as a whole, whether nonprofit or not, to look at and see what they can do. Definitely we'll need volunteers if we move forward with certain plans, and some monetary stuff if we look at other plans. But just as a community coming together, because we're only strong as far as a community, we're only strong if we support each other, and the community will be better for that, along with the fact that there is an organization that within the community that is going to try to, spearhead this to help out as much as it can, so that way there's a single focus group, and that's the Painesville Community Service Center, and seeing what we can do to help out our community, since that is one of our primary missions. So, with that, I thank you for your time. I don't know if there's any questions from the council members here or the mayor before I step down, but again, I thank you for your time, and I hope this kind of the people within the community can kind of breathe a little sigh of relief that there is somebody looking at how we're going to feed students this summer. So.
Do you know if there are other, I saw some concern about the summer pause program and the Vacation Bible School program being affected by it. Do you know if there are other summer programs that had relied on it in the past that are going to be affected, or?
Yeah, that I'm not sure, Megan.
Okay.
Those two definitely come to mind, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Just one thing real quick. There are folks that can benefit if they are on subsidies, can benefit from a thing called Sunbucks, SUNBUCK. So if you fall within, receiving subsidies, they should already be notified. However, folks are, if they're not sure, or folks think that they may be able to receive that, the school district does run that program, and it's a government program, but they're the ones that can help as far as pointing you in the right direction and getting the information filled out to see if you qualify for that. And what it is, it's $240 that is spread across 3 months to help out families that have children that are not being fed by the schools during the summer, to help subsidize additional food for their families. And it's for each child, so depending on how large your family is. But
Okay.
thank you for saying that, because it reminded me of something.
Sure.
Any other questions?
I just have some comments, and Gerald, I know, I'm trying to think in my mind and tally up all of the different committees and groups on which you serve, and I don't have enough fingers and toes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
also serve on the board of the Community Service Center with you, so I say these things in full disclosure of that. But I, as a person, am a huge proponent and believer in what's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is that the understanding that people cannot focus on emotional needs, behavioral issues, and things like that unless they are first secure in their housing and their food. And if those basic things aren't taken care of, we can't address the other things. And I think it's such a blessing that we have in this community to have individuals such as yourself championing these causes and calling the meeting that we had last week and continuing to root for things so that no kid in this community goes hungry this summer. I just want to say on behalf of the Community Service Center and on behalf of the city, thank you, because making sure that those kids have food before them is one less thing that they need to worry about this summer, and they can focus instead on being kids. They can go to school and they can focus on learning instead of focusing on where that next meal is going to come from. And we're able to have the community center that we have and the groups in town that do these things because of the time given by people like you. So Gerald, I just want to recognize you and say thank you for doing all of this.
Yeah, Mayor, thank you so much. I sure appreciate that. All right, if there isn't anything else, thank you again.
Thank you, Gerald. Right, Tarek, you were talking to us then about Explore Painesville, and I asked you to pull up the video.
Yep. Oh, the video, I pulled up the website.
We could start there. I like movie time.
Oh, so anyway, this was
We're at a
launched
time
by,
constraint, Sean.
and Megan was involved in this too, and I know the chamber has been spearheading this as part of the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. As you can see, we have a new logo, and we have a catchphrase or a tagline is, close enough to get away. So I think you're going to see a lot of promotional, a lot of marketing stuff with that in mind, with the logo as well as with that catchphrase going forward. And there are places to stay, things to eat, community events. So we're going to try to add and keep this up to date year round with different activities and things to do around town.
Sounds wonderful. Any questions on for Tarek? Okay, moving on then to the consent agenda includes the minutes listed on page 1, the vouchers on page 2 totaling $358,184.81, sale of the Durango liquor store cooler, the League of Minnesota Cities, insurance waiver, and planning board appointment. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda, or anybody wants something pulled?
I'd like to just pull page 3,
Okay.
item C for a comment.
All right, so that'll go under it's old business. That'll be a C under old business. So a motion on the rest, A, B, D, E, F. Anybody moving that?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Hersberg. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Brick. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. All right, Kateri is here from the library. I told her I'd move her up, so Kateri.
Right, I'm gonna steal this
New
chair.
business.
Oh, you may, yes.
This presentation, but don't tell.
Yes. Snacks too?
No, sorry.
I have a figure to maintain.
You save those for story time. But, I mean, technically, what is, I should have thought of that, Sean. Yes, my name is Kateri Gruber. I am the Library Services Coordinator at the Painesville Public Library. Thank you for allowing me to come and address the council and give you a little overview about what your library has been up to this past year, almost 2. I'm sorry, I missed last year. I did not get to come and speak to you guys, so we'll talk a little bit about a few things from 2 years ago. Feel free to throw in questions if you got them, otherwise I'll ask at the end if you got anything. So first thing I want to do is just, it's hard to talk about locally without talking about regionally. If you're not familiar, Great River puts out an annual report as well to talk about what's been going on across all 32 of our locations in central Minnesota. A few things that happened last year is our own patron services supervisor, Brandy Cantor. Some of you had met her. She supervised a bunch of our locations, but she has now moved into the executive director position of the entire Great River Regional Library. So we're very proud of her, and we did get a new patron services supervisor, Jeanette Burkhardt, and I'm sure some of you have met her, and some more of you will soon. We also updated our strategic plan for Great River Regional Library. So we have the new 2016 to 2030 plan, and I actually got to be a part of the strategic planning committee this past year. And so we're keeping our same core values of exceptional service, forward thinking, and community focus, but we're shifting our strategic directions a little bit to more focus directly on supporting learning, sharing our story about what's available at the library, welcoming all to the library, and growing our partnerships. So that's kind of what you'll see our focus being in the next 4 years with what we're doing locally as well. So yeah, I did send over our year-end numbers. Our community, our ComDev people made a lovely little cheat for you guys to see. Gave that out to the community as well. I won't go over all of the numbers, but you can kind of see what our current active card holders are, what our checkout sessions are like, our Wi-Fi usage. A couple things I did want to point out. Our increase in meeting room usage. So the last couple years has been like maybe 12 uses. We had someone coming in consistently for a while, and that's actually jumped, as you can see, up to almost 60 for this past year. So there's finally more awareness that we do have that room available, and we have some people who are consistently scheduling it out for monthly visits, or that they have with groups, or just coming in and walking and being like, hey, is the room available? So that is great to see.
Do you
And
think
I know
that room would get more use if it were more of a room and less of a closet?
and less of a closet. We're hoping, yes. But no, yeah, that is something that people were excited to hear about with the new build, to have those rooms and find out that we actually had one they could already come and use, but just a small one. And we've also been increasing our outreach activities slowly, but we are focusing right now on the elementary, getting those connections. So it's a lot of class visits that have been coming, learning about the library, getting their cards, sign up for library cards, and now we're going to be shifting a little bit to getting like the high school students and seeing what we can have available for them, and just getting out to the general adult population. That is one area, finding a good place to share what's happening at the library, and that yes, a library card is free, and so are our programs, and we have printing, which seems to blow people's mind all the time. So getting those out. Going down to our programming, we always have our summer reading challenge, which is for our ages 0 to 12th grade, and you can see our participation level there. We did have a partnership that I set up a couple years ago with PAWS, so now they are actually participating within their PAWS program in the Summer Reading Challenge. So I actually go and play book bingo with them every month, which is a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun as well. And then we also had our Winter Reading Challenge, which that is focused on the teens and adults then for our winter time. And we have both of those are available in paper and also digitally, which came around, of course, during COVID. We kind of pushed it out to having Beanstack as our reading app, and you can do challenges on there throughout the year, but we also include these summer and winter reading challenge specifically for that. On the second page, we always have programs going on, and yes, how many times people are like, how much does that cost? And you're like, it's free, and they're like, what? So we have, consistently, we're always having monthly programs. We've got an activity and craft that's always up. We've got story time, Lego Lab. New in 2025, we started a book club, and that was by patron request. So we actually had 2. We had enough people for 2 at one point, but it kind of weaned down to now we have 1 consistent one that's now meeting every single month. So that was an awesome addition as a cool library program. And we had some fun ones. You'll see some pictures there. That was the PAWS kids doing bingo. We've done Scan for Keeps with the Historical Society. They came in and did a scanning program for documents and pictures. There's a picture of, let's see, the PAWS came for, we did Now Make Art, creating garbage friends out of recycled stuff. And we did it outside, and the kids walked down, and then it just downpoured. And they were having a blast, but they did have to call some vans to come and pick up the kids, but they had a blast out there. Doing mosaic coasters, I think, and then we had the Jolly Pops out for the summer, and the Painesville royalty happened to be walking by, so they joined the party, which was great. And yeah, our book club. We have 3D pens, if anyone didn't know that, at the library, so we finally did some classes with the teens and adults to create things with those 3D pens. And Jen hosted a Library in the Wild digital library program to teach people about our digital apps, Hoopla and Libby. And then this is the third year we've done holiday music, which is always a hit. So this year we did it actually at the Green Roof and filled up their tables and had friends brought some refreshments and cookies. And then every year we have Locally Growing. We do a fundraiser to raise money for something just for our local library instead of going to Great River as a whole. They have an annual campaign that they do at the end of the year for the whole system. So this one is just for us. So for this past year, this is our show and tell part. You can see we raised money, $470 for Try It Yourself kits. So we added 5 to our local Painesville collection, and they were voted on. And would you know it? Juggling had the highest number of votes. So, but they come in these blue kits, and so this is the bird watching one, which also, of course, comes with books and a CD for birding. But it also comes with a set of 3 binoculars, so you can go with your family and go birding. But we also have rock hounding, and playmaking, jewelry making, and then a juggling kit. So we are actually bringing Lyndon Johnson, the agate man. He's coming in August, and so we're promoting our rock hounding kit with that way, and then having him come and show off a bunch of cool rocks, and people can bring their rocks to show off as well. And we also added an induction cooking kit, so we are actually doing some demos with Erica, who has an induction cooking setup, so she knows how to use it, so we're going to do some demonstrations for the community. And then there are actually, if you're not familiar with Try It Yourself kits, we do have 19 in the collection of Great River Regional that are requestable. So our 5, and then there's a bunch in the other systems like the telescopes and ukulele and yoga. So if you ever wanted to try a hobby, didn't want to spend the money for it, check out our kit, find out if you enjoy it. I also wanted to show, this was actually last year's fundraiser. We raised money to buy, they're called read-along audiobooks. And so you might be aware that CD players aren't as prevalent in our culture anymore. Not as many have those. So what we have are audiobooks that have the audio component built right in. And so you can listen to it either out loud with a group or put in headphones. It's also got a learning component where it'll ask you questions about the book as well. But essentially it's for the kids who are beginning to read on their own, to listen and read along with the books. And it's taking the places of our books with the CDs. So this has been a popular addition to our collection and more requestable from other libraries. Let's see. Not in the stats. Printing, like I mentioned, print to go. People are always surprised to find out we do have printing. That is the one thing that does cost at the library, just because ink is so expensive. So we have like 10 cents a page for black and white, 50 cents for color, but we are seeing an increase in our printing requests, mostly because you can print at the library, but you can also email attachments from home to our printer queue or drag and drop on our website, come in within 24 hours and get them printed. And privacy is assured. We don't see what's actually being printed. We just can see your name and a document title. That's it. So we're actually starting to do quarterly counting. So we just did a print counting week to assess how much this is being used. Is it bringing in people who don't have library cards to print? And so we're doing that quarterly now to assess that use. We also added, this was actually 2024, but we've seen increased use in 2025. Someone donated a mini console, a Nintendo console. So in our teen area, we added a little gaming station. And so they can check out the controllers from the desk and go and play. And since we already had this set up, Great River had a Switch that we were using for gaming every once in a while. You request it from St. Cloud, it comes. So now we're just doing that monthly since we already have it set up, and it stays here for a week and people can come and play. So we're excited to see that being used. We're also on Facebook, so if you haven't seen us there or haven't followed us there, please do. You'll see our events and a bunch of, hey, did you know you could do this at your library? And just fun things. National Library Week is coming up, so we're doing a guessing game on how many cardigans you think your librarians own.
Infinite.
You'd be surprised when we went and actually counted.
I'll have you know, Erica and I went Easter dress shopping after you had that work conversation.
So she has more. I'll have to update my count. If you haven't come in a while, I'd invite you to come and do so. We've moved things around a little bit just to create table space. That was actually last year. We were moving things around a bit. but also just to meet our staff. I know you guys don't get to see them as much here. So we have Wendy, who's our collection guru. She refreshes our collection. She's moving our books along that haven't checked out in a while to other libraries, making sure our items are getting sent in for mending or reading if they need to. And she also does like outreach with me. We also have Jen and Erica, and they are visually creative staffers. So Jen does digital art and prints them for our bulletin boards. Erica dresses up Roberto and friends on our wall. If you haven't met them, they've been changing outfits through the seasons. And she also does a monthly activity for the kids. Both of them also do great like book displays on like topical items in the news or showcasing collections, what's available, days of the week. And Jen also does some of our adult and teen classes. And as for me, I continue to coordinate our staff and services, outreach to the community, and continue to learn. So most recently, I actually won a scholarship and was able to go to the Public Library Association Conference in Minneapolis. And this is the national one. So this year, it was here in Minneapolis. And so 8 of us from Great River went. And it's just, there was like 6,000 librarians in person and virtual attending this conference. And it's just so much idea sharing and things we can bring back home. So I hopped into a couple like teen sessions talking about how to outreach to rural teen communities, how to like adjust your space for their needs, or even just teaching technology, the variety of technology we've got, and just the tips and tricks, because we're not IT people officially, but we help a lot with that. So there's always ongoing discussions in the library on how best to meet our patrons' needs, either socially or technologically. I'm also looking forward to continuing to work with the Ad Hoc Library Board on the new building projects. We've got patrons who are coming and commenting and are really excited. And I just want to thank you for investing in books, supporting learning, and connecting the community. And I was able to recently go with Brandy, our executive director, to the Stearns County Commissioners meeting for their annual presentation. So I got to talk a little bit about what we've been working on here. And I got to do a show and tell with our architectural drawings. So upcoming, we've got a financial literacy, it's financial literacy month. So we've got a financial literacy financial advisor coming for a workshop to do like financial preparedness for disaster, a financial disaster, if something happens, or being prepared for it. We've got a whole queue of projects coming up, and you can always see those. I update them on the Facebook page, and they're also always on our website. We have them on the Great River website. You can sort them by like Painesville's activities and see what we've got. National Library Week is actually next week, so 19th to the 25th. I'm happy to report Magnify is coming in to partner with us. So they're coming to volunteer with us during the week, and they're gonna help us with our spring cleaning of all the shelves. And they're also doing a book drive that they're gonna donate to the Friends of the Library. So that's pretty awesome. And it's also National Volunteer Week, so we do actually have volunteers. We've got a consistent team who comes every week. We've got, I think, 2 other patrons who are coming pretty consistently. So we get a lot of help there with setting up our crafts and doing displays and yes, cleaning stuff too, toys and everything. And I just want to recognize our Friends of the Library are just the powerhouse for supporting the library and working with you guys in the community. So thank them for that. And we have the Recovery Center crews. I just want to recognize them because they come and help with the book sales, moving stuff, storing stuff, setting up, all that sort of thing. They're always willing to help. And then finally, not volunteers, but big thank you to Dan and Lee and the Public Works crews for taking care of our library building and the grounds. So I thought I'd ask you, I could keep talking, but does anyone have any questions?
We put that door opener on there. Has that helped? Is that useful?
Yeah, we've had patrons use it, and then usually like hauling book carts in and out when they're storing the books and stuff like that. I think we did have it get stuck one time just because it was open for so long. Like we were propping it open for book storage, but other than that, yeah, it's been doing well.
And then as a council, we've had some feedback on what I think are misconceptions, so I'm hoping you can help clarify the record on who uses the library and sort of this perception that it's retired college professors are your primary demographic there. And that by looking at building a new building, we're not serving the community as a whole. So can you talk to us about what demographic of people from the community are using the library?
All of them. I mean, visually you won't see the teens as much in there, but We do have, we've got kids who, they come and do play dates with their families. We've got young adults, elder adults, older adults. I don't know, I mean, it's hard to say like only one demographic is using the library. It's all of them.
Is it limited to City of Painesville residents?
No, it's anyone who has a library card. So when we do our introduction for new users, that's what we remind them that your card is good at all 32 of our locations. And even you can become a reciprocal borrower at New London if you happen to work there. So we've got people who work in different cities who come to our city to work, or they live and work in 2 different cities. They can pick up books at either, drop off books at either. So you've got a lot of interuse, I guess, that you want to call it, across our Great River libraries. But it's our townships, it's our rural areas. One thing you won't see, like on here, when you're looking at our checkout sessions and items checked out, you won't see our digital library on there, and that has actually become our top circulating library in Great River. So we do have a lot of people accessing that use as well. I don't know if that answered your questions completely, but yeah.
Do you have any information, formal or informal, on the breadth of socioeconomic diversity that you see in the library?
I mean, I don't have stats, but I mean, you see the full range. Yeah, it's from people who can't afford it, to people can't afford to like purchase books, to people are like, I could buy these books, but why? We have the access here, and it's useful. And it's a support to the library. That's sometimes what people forget, is like just using your library is supporting us, because that's where those stats go to the state and the counties and the cities to see how much is being used, and that's where the funding comes from. So.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thanks, Kateri.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Right. Back to old business A, the safe routes to school, page 8 of our agenda. Dan, or Chuck on that.
Yeah, I could take that one. The plans and specifications for the Safe Routes to School project are complete, and MnDOT has reviewed them. So we're now ready to move forward to the next phase of that project, which is the bidding phase. As the council may recall, this includes sidewalk improvements by the elementary school along Mill Street, as well as some curb ramp improvements, and then additional crossing improvements at Burr Street and Highway 55, as well as Business 23 and Veterans Drive. So if the council wishes to continue to move forward, we plan to advertise this next week and open bids in mid-May for construction this summer.
I'd entertain a motion to open the bidding process.
I'll move to proceed with the Safe Routes to School project and authorize advertisement for bids.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Hersberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. Right. 27 Street Improvement Project. Dan and Chuck.
I could take this one as well. As the council may recall, last year we sort of reprioritized the capital improvement plan. We pushed the downtown project back a couple of years and moved some other streets up into the 2027 timeframe. The streets that are moved into 2027 include the Stearns Avenue, Highway 55 to First Street, Washburn Drive, Washburn Avenue from Washburn Drive to First, Maple Street from Belmont Drive to Mill Street. In addition, due to some recent utility issues along Business 23, we also added the Business 23 utilities from Pomeroy to Ampey Drive as part of the 27 project, at least to study that as part of the initial report. So basically, the first step of the process, anytime we do a project, is to do a preliminary engineering report that follows the 429 assessment process. So that's really where we're at today. This is traditionally when we've started these projects, so that we're bidding them in early 27 to move forward. So this is just the first step in the process to initiate the project.
Right, I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution if there's no further discussion.
I'll make the motion to approve Resolution 2026-08, ordering preparation of the report on the improvement for the 2027 Street Improvement Project.
I have a motion by Hersberg as stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ally. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Motion carries. All right, going back up to what was on the consent agenda, page 3, the sale of the 23 Dodge Durango. Neil, you wanted to talk about that?
Yeah, seeing what we got for the Durango, we kind of discussed a little bit about minimum bid when we talked about this last meeting. And it shows we probably should have set that at 15 because when a car dealer buys a vehicle, you know they're going to resell it and make a profit. So I feel there was room to, we came in a little bit too low, but just want to make the comment that we think long and hard when we put things out for bid.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, I entertain a motion to accept the bid for the sale of the Durango.
So moved.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ally. Any further discussion? All those in favor of accepting the bid from Wheelberg Chevrolet indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Great. We have T-hanger lease and storage agreements for the airport, new business B, page 15. Dan, anything you want to talk to us about this? It all looks pretty pro forma.
Pretty straightforward, T-hanger lease and a storage unit lease. We did have to modify the storage unit lease a little bit to allow for simulator use in that storage unit. So we worked with the lawyer to get the wording correct.
Okay. If there's no discussion, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the T-hanger lease and storage garage lease agreements between the City of Painesville and Hudson Gray.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Hersberg, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. All right, early voting, elections. Park.
We've done this before. We need to get council's resolution on allowing us to do early voting here.
We had talked about doing voting for the entire county. Where is that at? Is that part of this or not yet?
It says the residents of Stearns County.
Yeah, residents of Stearns County. So it's countywide, and the big difference is, yes, not only city of Painesville can be voting in this, but anybody that lives in Stearns County.
And that was something that we talked about. We're kind of just doing this as a test year to see how things go.
Yeah, if it goes well, we can do it for all elections.
So that will be an increased service over what we've offered in the past. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the agreement?
I'll move to approve the agreement between Stearns County and the City of Painesville for providing early voting to the residents of Stearns County.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ally. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Tarek, we're going to have to be open on Saturday, 1 or 2, or,
We've done that before, yeah.
so we're going to have additional overtime, or,
We might have some overtime, yeah.
so the 1,500, when we're all said and done, ain't going to amount to much, but we're offering a service.
Yes.
So
We've
I'm
done
okay.
Saturdays
I'm just
before,
saying,
yeah.
it's not a money maker.
No.
Any further discussion then? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries. Right. Dan, buying a tractor.
Yeah, the international tractor in there that I'm proposing to purchase came to my attention through the guys because Ron had approached the guys that this tractor was available. The city had borrowed it in the past from the asphalt company that owned the tractor. They had used it in the past. They were very familiar with it. They got good usage out of it. So Brad and I went out and looked at the tractor. We played with it, started it up, checked it out. And then Brad went to the mechanic mechanic who's done all the work on the tractor and visited with him to see what value he thought was there. He said it's worth everything that he's asking for it. The reason I would ask for this tractor is so we could properly grade and reshape our alleys along with the tops of our dikes at lagoons or the pond system. It would be valuable to have that belly blade and the weight of that tractor to be able to reshape and dig our alleys down far enough that we could get rid of those potholes. Because right now we use the Zetter and the box scraper and we can only get a few inches, and pretty much the efforts we do come right back. So in turn, also with the purchase of the International would be to sell the Zetter, because that's a lighter piece of equipment, and we use that for the alleys currently and a little bit of mowing, but we've got the mowing handled with a chemical. So we wouldn't need the Zetter, we'd keep the box scraper, so we could also use that on the International. But we could do a much better job of grading and reshaping our alleys and other work with it, because it is a heavier tractor. Hopefully by the time we would sell the Zetter, purchase the International, we would come out even or just a few $100s one way or the other. By looking at the value of both, that it's pretty much an even swap.
I have a question, Dan. What is realistic value of the Zetter?
It's included in here. Looking up the pricing, we figure we can get about $400.
We dare put a minimum bid of 5 or 45?
We could put 5 on there, or 45, whatever the council is comfortable with. Min bid usually fetches a pretty good price.
I mean, the tractor is clean. You can see in the picture, it's,
We could go somewhere in between,
pretty
go
ready.
4,800. I'd feel comfortable with that. I think we would get that for sure.
I think 48, that sounds reasonable. If there's no other discussion, I'll make the motion.
Go ahead.
Motion to approve purchase of the International tractor with funds to come from the sale of the Zetter tractor and any additional from street and wastewater equipment funds from Troy Conwell, formerly Codwell Asphalt, for up to $5,600, and then surplus the 3320B Zetter tractor, advertised on bids with min bids with the minimum of $4,800, with notice also to be published on the city's website.
I'll second.
A motion by Hertzberg, seconded by Brick, as stated on the action sheet, with the addition of a minimum bid for the tractor of $4,800. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Okay, designating a polling place. Tarek.
This is also something we do every election. We're just designating the green roof as the polling station.
Works for me.
And I'll move to approve Resolution 2026-09 designating polling places for elections conducted in the city of Painesville in 2026.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ellie. Megan, your motion includes for everyone but Neil, who has to vote elsewhere, right?
Of course. I thought that was given.
You know my vote counts.
I agree with the process of
Guys
democracy,
are
even
gonna
when I don't
cancel it
agree
out,
with
but
the...
that's okay.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. All right. Dan, want to talk about Arbor Day?
You have an Arbor Day proclamation that I would like you to read and sign so we can begin our quest back into the Arbor Day Foundation.
There are too many whereases for me to read this here.
Part of the deal is you have to read it.
Yours have way more.
Do I have a bell so that I can get out on the corner and hear ye, some people?
Make it official.
It hasn't been officially resolved yet. I can't make it official. I'd entertain a motion to approve the Tree City USA proclamation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Brick, is stated on the action sheet, seconded by Hersberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. And with that, whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas, y'all asked for this, Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas, trees can be a solution for combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fire, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now therefore, I, Sean Ranke, Mayor of the City of Paynesville, do hereby proclaim Friday, April 24th as Arbor Day in the City of Paynesville, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated this 13th day of April, 2026, to be signed by myself.
You skipped the part about the city, about the increase in property values, so start from the top. The increased property values enhance the economic vitality of business areas and beautify our
got
community.
that part.
Did I just blank? Because you were just saying whereas too many
Yeah,
times?
you read it.
I don't know, I'm gonna check.
You were distracted by the fact that Neil voted for a resolution in favor of combating climate change.
Well, I'm okay.
It did give my heart a little bit of.
I like trees.
Who doesn't? We all love trees. I think that's a great proclamation. Well done, Sean.
There we go.
Good job, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, next time Tarek goes to London though to visit his son, he's gonna have to bring me some mayor clothes back so I can read more proclamations.
Put the wig.
Yeah, you gotta have the wig.
Okay, all right. The detour agreement. You want to talk to us about detouring the highway?
Sure, this is the agreement for when MnDOT does the bridge along Highway 55, essentially. The agreement states they're able to detour the Highway 55 traffic along Main Street for that one block from Highway 55 over to Business 23, and then also utilize Veterans Drive from Business 23 to the on and off ramps of 23 to get back to 55. So anytime MnDOT detours any traffic along a city local street, there has to be a detour agreement like this. You do see there is a reimbursement in there. It's not very much. I think it's $1,400, which is a little typical, but it seems very low.
Is that negotiable?
This is pretty much their standard agreement, the only one I've seen used on detours.
Okay. All right. Someone want to tell them that they need to address things to Dan going forward?
Yep, I noticed that.
Okay. All right, I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution and the detour agreement.
I'll move to approve MnDOT detour agreement and resolution 2026-10 for the trunk highway number 55 detour.
Motion by Brick is stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Hersberg. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. Thank the Lord that's not a proclamation. All right, Dan, on the Veterans Park well.
The Veterans Park well, we started last year. We had Tinewell come out and do a little rehab to it. It's been blowing sand for a number of years. The well is older, all the casing is older. There's not a lot of salvation to it anymore. So we decided we're gonna go get pricing to replace it, drill a new well, abandon the old well, and start from there. So we're trying to get that done so we can have it up and ready by the time park opens up. We should be able to do that with either of these companies, but with the pricing that they came out as, I recommend take the lower cost. And they are actually the company that has worked on the well the most in the past. So they're familiar with it, they have a good reputation. Our well needs to be replaced.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
Need a motion?
I'm just waiting.
I'll move to approve the quote from Jennings Well Drilling, Inc. in the amount of $9,010 to replace the Veterans Park well and abandon the old well with funds to come from Water Fund 110.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ally, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. Okay. Page 64, we have a lot split. Jen?
As you see on page 67, Dwayne Olshine and Brandon Michaelis, they own lots 1, 2, and 3 of the Michaelis-Olshine addition. You'll see parcel 2 and 3 are involved in the lot split. They'd like to split off the section that is highlighted in pink so that the shed and shop that is currently being used by Coronis Builders can be on its own lot. So Dwayne is not only one of the owners of the three lots in Michaelis-Olshine addition, but he's also the owner of Coronis Builders. You'll notice that the areas in orange are the accesses to the newly developed lot, if the council so desires to split that off for them. I did receive a recorded access easement today from Dwayne. And I just had Chuck to look at that to make sure everything was good there. And you'll see the area in yellow has been highlighted. If the lot split is done and the new lot is created for the shed, then we will vacate the utility easements that are outlined in yellow, which will come by a petition to you at a later time. So right now, to meet the 60-day rule, the formality would be to set the public hearing to do this. And that public hearing would be set for Monday, May 11th at 6:30. Planning Board will be reviewing this at their April 20th meeting to bring you a report and recommendation for the May 11th meeting.
Right, so we're not acting on this tonight, everyone. We just want to set that public hearing, May 11 at 6:30. Is there a motion to set that hearing?
So moved.
Motion by Hersberg, is there a second?
Second.
Heard it from Donna. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries. Right, got a job description here for a Public Works employee, policies, procedures, looked it over, gave it the go-ahead. There was a typo, I assume that got corrected?
It has.
Yep. Okay. And with that, I think we can go ahead and get somebody full-time hired here and get that advertised.
I have one question before we,
Okay?
this would be grade 6, step 1,
Yep.
and what kind of coin is that?
Oh God,
It was on our policies agenda.
What kind of wage?
yeah,
Yes.
30,
$30.60 an hour, I believe.
yeah, that was starting.
30, 60?
That is at step 1, but the council can go as far as step 3 on an employee that's starting.
Depending who applies and what
Exactly.
experience, whatnot, okay. But this would be 30, 60 unless there's With that, I'll make the motion to approve the full-time Public Works Mechanical Tech and Water Wastewater Operator 1 job description and start the hiring process to fill the position and continue the process until a recommendation can be made to City Council.
Got a motion by Hertzberg as stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Brick. Any further discussion? Dan, I would just discuss one of the things we talked about in Public Works and that I think you've mentioned to us before, but I'll say it again. This is coming in higher, but that's because of the additional job duties that this person would be performing. That is something that you've discussed with your crew, and they all support this because you want to have somebody who can do maintenance.
Correct, sir.
Cool. Great. Any further discussion then?
Just before, what portion of the job do you think maintenance would be, 50 or 40%?
Depends on the time of the year and what's broken down, but, you know, it's probably 25.
Something needs fixing, you'll have to be fixing, and nothing to fix, you're a worker.
And if it costs less to fix this than it did the tractor a few weeks ago, we're set for a while.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries. Okay, hiring part-time maintenance worker, Mr. Schwant.
It's coming back.
He missed us. My only question is, with his years of experience, is a step 3 appropriate?
That's the most we can do on our own without talking to you guys.
I assume he knows that that's the deal, right?
Yeah. I
Or-
don't know. Was he
He
involved with that?
hasn't, he knew the range of the position,
Okay,
because the range is posted, but he does not know what step he will be hired at. But that is the max according to the ASME.
okay.
Okay. Then I'd entertain the motion.
I'll move to hire Dave Schwant for the part-time seasonal 67-day Public Works Maintenance Worker at Grade 1, Step 3, $20.58 per hour, and place Isaac Mergen on the eligibility list.
Motion by Brick is stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Hersberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. We do have a closed session, but I'll go through the informational before we close this out. We do have our February, March Police Department reports on page 78, the liquor store report. I also got a news release that new Cara had been purchased by one Onero RX, one RO, whatever they're called, and they will have a new name. And I just asked Jen to throw that on here because I thought for something so integral to our community, we should spread the word about that. But at least from the press release, it looks like they have experience managing rural pharmacies, so hopefully that's good. Otherwise with that, that's it for our current public meeting. I'd entertain a motion to go into closed session to talk about a real estate offer. If anyone wants to make that. Thank you, Gerald.
I move that we go into closed session.
Motion by Brick for its closed section is stated on our agenda to discuss a real property offer for the property located at 275 Kira Court, 70.39118.0533 for the reasons they are stated. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ellie. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. We will go into a closed session. Back in a public meeting, council met closed session to talk about an offer on the real property located at 275 Kira Court, 70.39118.0533. I understand we have a motion that somebody wants to make. Before we get there, all of the funds for this just go into our general fund, right?
Sure.
Yes?
Well, they have to pay off the assessments first,
Which are how much?
16,000.
Okay, well, we're talking about a whole lot of money then. Well, we don't have to pay off the assessments.
True.
Dan doesn't need the money that bad.
Maybe he can use it to open.
I can see Jen's blood pressure rising. My suggestion was going to be, since the park fund and the trail fund are both negative, that we take the proceeds and divide it equally between those two funds,
That's a good idea. Minus the assessments.
minus the assessments. Anyway, that was just a thought that I had had while we were talking. I'll leave it to whoever makes the motion to move as they see fit.
Maybe before the motion's made, that could be something we could bring back at the next meeting. So that formal transfer, those numbers get put on an action sheet.
Okay.
You could say that you're accepting this offer, for that lot in the amount, with bringing back on how the proceeds after the assessments are paid could be determined at the next meeting.
Because then you'll have the exact number for assessment too.
So, all right, so then, based on the suggestion of staff, I'd entertain a motion to accept the offer, reserving the distribution and division of fees.
I'll make the motion to accept the offer of $21,000 from Frontier Land LLC for Lot 275 in the Kira development.
Motion by Neil for the amount of, or to accept the offer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Donna. Any further discussion?
Just want to say for the people in TV land, there's only 2 lots left, so if you want one, come on down and talk to Jennifer.
Yep.
Get them while the getting's good.
Right. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed who want to stay here longer? Motion carries. That we're adjourned, everyone.